Ethan Holt hadn't meant to trespass. His map, pieced together from half-burnt fragments scavenged from the wreck of an alien vessel, had led him here, to the Sirthi catacombs, a place whispered about in outpost taverns as a forbidden labyrinth where no human had ever returned. He had expected treasure, ancient technology, weapons, maybe data crystals worth enough to buy him freedom from the scavenger's life. What he found instead was a living, breathing structure, stone that throbbed as if filled with blood, corridors that moaned faintly when touched and strange, spiraling chambers that defied geometry. And then her. She descended from the shadows like a blade unsheathed, towering, radiant, terrifying. Her skin glimmered like obsidian laced with molten gold, her eyes glowing orbs of fire. She was unmistakably Sirthi, a race humans had only heard of in war stories. To see one alive was beyond rare. To see one in her own sanctum was suicide. Insolent human, her voice boomed, echoing against the chamber walls. You dare force entry into a sanctum not meant for your kind? Ethan froze, his hand tightening around the plasma lantern. I didn't mean. You've entered the wrong orifice, she spat, her words carrying both venom and ritual weight. One you defiled. The walls around him seemed to shiver at her words. Ethan realized then, this wasn't just a cavern. It was sacred. He hadn't just trespassed into ruins. He blundered into a living shrine of her people, the mistress of the catacombs. The alien towered over him, but she wasn't clad in crude armor. Instead, she wore robes woven from strands of glowing silk, shifting colors like a starfield. In one hand, she carried a staff tipped with a crystalline shard that hummed with raw energy. I am Mistress Vera of the Sirthi, keeper of the veins, guardian of the sacred orifices, she declared, every title striking like a lash. You stand where only chosen blood may pass. Ethan's mind raced. The words sounded absurd and galactic common, but the fury in her tone made them deadly serious. He tried to raise his hands, palms open. I didn't know. I thought these were ruins, empty. Empty? Her voice trembled with outrage. You dare call the living flesh of our mother empty? This chamber is one of her hearts. You've walked into her sacred passageways without permission. You've defiled her body with your human stench. Ethan's heart pounded. A living structure? Could the catacombs truly be alive? A trial of flesh. Instead of killing him outright, Vera lifted her staff. The walls pulsed brighter, and tendrils of living stone slithered toward Ethan, wrapping around his wrists and ankles. He was lifted into the air like a prisoner displayed for judgment. You will face trial, she hissed. If you fail, your body will be absorbed. If you pass, perhaps the mother will forgive your intrusion. Ethan swallowed hard. What kind of trial? Her lips curled in a cruel smile. One of flesh, one of will, one of truth. The ground beneath him split open, revealing a pit of luminous fluid. Within it, skeletal remains floated, alien and human alike, all stripped bare by the strange, glowing substance. This is the orifice of truth, Vera declared. Those who enter are shown their essence. The weak dissolve. The liars burn. The unworthy scream until silence claims them. Ethan's stomach churned. And the worthy? Her eyes narrowed. The worthy emerged, changed. Before he could protest, the tendrils yanked him downward, plunging him into the pit. The vision, the liquid wasn't liquid at all. It was alive. It crawled across his skin, seeping into every pore, burning and freezing at once. He tried to scream, but his mouth filled with light. His mind cracked open, visions flooding in. He saw Earth, not as it was, but as it might be. Oceans turned black, cities crumbled, skies choked with ash. He saw alien fleets descending, Sirthi among them, their wrath unleashed upon humanity. Then he saw himself, not a scavenger, not a drifter, but a bridge. He stood between human and alien, his hands outstretched, a chain of jewels linking two worlds. The pain grew unbearable. His skin blistered, his thoughts fraying into fragments. He thought of running, of begging, of surrendering. But then he remembered Vera's words. The weak dissolve. I'm not weak, he growled through clenched teeth. I won't break. And then silence. Emergence. When Ethan opened his eyes, he was back in the chamber. The liquid was gone. His skin glowed faintly with golden markings. Strange runes burned into his flesh. He felt different, stronger, connected. Mistress Vera stared at him, her fury tempered with surprise. Impossible. No human has ever survived the Orifice of truth. Ethan staggered to his feet. Maybe your mother wanted me to. For the first time, she hesitated. Her staff lowered slightly. The walls of the chamber pulsed in slow, deliberate rhythm, like a heartbeat. The living shrine itself seemed to acknowledge him. The mistress's dilemma. You don't understand, Vera said quietly, though her voice still carried authority. My people guard these passages with our lives. For centuries we believed no outsider could withstand the mother's trials. If you survived, it means she has chosen you. Ethan rubbed the glowing runes on his arms. Chosen me for what? Her eyes darkened. For burden or destiny? Perhaps both. Before he could reply, the chamber shook violently. A blast echoed through the corridors, followed by the metallic clang of boots. Ethan recognized the sound instantly. Human scavengers, the same mercenary band that had been tracking him for weeks. They stormed in, weapons raised, eyes widening at the sight of the alien mistress and the glowing chamber. Their leader grinned. Jackpot. The desecration. The scavengers opened fire. Plasma bolts scorched the living walls, making them shriek in pain. Vera roared in fury, her staff unleashing arcs of energy that incinerated two men instantly. Ethan dug behind a pillar, his mind racing. The mercs weren't just after treasure. They would desecrate the mother, tear her apart for weapons and profit. And somehow, the shrine had marked him to stop them. The runes on his skin burned hot. Without thinking, Ethan slammed his palm against the floor. The chamber responded. Tendrils of living stone lashed out, seizing scavengers, crushing weapons. The power wasn't his, but it flowed through him like fire through a conduit. Vera's eyes widened. The mother lends you her strength. Together, alien mistress and marked human fought side by side. Plasma fire clashed with living energy, screams echoing through the chamber. One by one, the scavengers fell until only their leader remained. He aimed his rifle at Ethan, sneering. You're no savior. Holt, you're just another fool who thinks he's special. Before he could fire, the wall swallowed him whole, dragging him into the depths. Silence returned. The aftermath. Breathing hard, Ethan collapsed against a glowing stone. The runes on his skin dimmed, but they remained etched into his flesh, a permanent reminder. Mistress Vera approached, her expression unreadable. You entered the wrong orifice. Human. One forbidden. One sacred. But perhaps not defiled after all. He gave a tired, bitter laugh. That's the nicest thing you've said to me. Her lips curved in the faintest ghost of a smile. Do not mistake this for kindness. You bear a mark now. My people will not forgive easily. But neither can they deny what the mother has chosen. Ethan stared at the pulsing walls. He wasn't sure what the future held. But one thing was clear. His life as a drifter was over. He had entered the forbidden. He had survived the trial. And now, for better or worse, he carried the burden of a destiny written in alien flesh. Ending. As the mistress turned to leave, she paused at the chamber's threshold. Her voice, though quieter, still carried authority. Insolent human, perhaps you were meant to enter the wrong orifice after all. For in doing so, you may have found the only path forward for both our kinds. Ethan exhaled, the weight of fate pressing on his shoulders. The galaxy would never be the same.